this city, legends are real. The ordinary sleep to sweet dreams, filled with hope and wonder, while those awake see things for what they are, a nightmarish labyrinth made of steel and concrete. Gods and monsters walk among us, from that waitress by that 24/7 diner under the bridge, or that clerk working at the gas station. They could be anyone. And just like anyone, we search for answers to some hard questions. But life sometimes gets in the way, gets complicated, sometimes messy even. Stick around if you want to hear a strange tale or two. Best do it before the mist rolls in. In this city, the mist is our mistress of mysteries.
Oh,
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to All Nerds here for our Royal Flush a Wild Cards Adventure show. We're going to have lots of fun today. Lots of, I'm going to have lots of fun. I don't know how everyone else is going to feel about it. Thank you for spending your Sunday with us as we are going to be playing our City of Mist RPG actual play, and we are going to have lots of fun with that. Just as a precautionary thing, as always, there is a content warnings for this show. There is occasional depictions of murder, death, violence, and also lots of sadness and depression. and so we will be doing that today, and we will have everyone go ahead and introduce themselves and who they are and who they're playing and what is their character's mythos, which is the embodiment of this mythological or legendary figure or story. Go ahead and let's start with Simon.
Hello, everybody. My name is Simon. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be playing Perdita Glass. She is a private investigator whose pronouns are she, her, and her mythos is Alice in Wonderland.
Alice.
Alice.
Thank
you.
Wonderland.
And Angela.
Hello there, everybody. While I hold down a fit of giggles, I'm Angela. Use she, her pronouns. I'm going to be playing Miriam Rocabado, who is a death doula / hospice care worker, and who has the mythos of Xipe Totec, a deity whose best translation I've found so far has been Our Lord of the Flayed Skin, a god of life and rebirth. I summon flowers, and then things happen.
Thank you, Angela. Smurf.
Yo, what up? I'm Smurf. Today I am playing Tommy Two Sticks. Tommy's mythos is Babe Ruth, the King of Clash, the Sultan of SWAT. Both of our pronouns are he, him. And I have a pink background because Extra Life is coming up in two weeks. We're getting close. It's going to be crazy.
Thanks, Smurf. And Kate.
Hi, I'm Kate. I play Faith Hughes. Both of our pronouns are she, her, and her mythos is the Scottish werewolf, the benevolent wolver, who brings people fish when they go hungry.
Yes. You haven't brought fish to anybody, though.
Well, because it's a metaphorical thing now. People needed fish.
Are you sure about that?
It's a metaphor.
I don't feel like I need to bring people fish now, Jackie.
What's the
If I
metaphor?
need to bring people fish now, I can.
877 fish now.
Also, I haven't really had an opportunity. She's kind of busy with
Existential crisis?
yeah, school and hot women not wanting to tell her things. You know.
I'm glad this is a statement that's been made and can be referenced now.
Yep.
This makes me so happy.
Yep.
That's just my entire life right there.
And I am Jackie, and I am your master of ceremonies. My pronouns are he, him, but I will be portraying a variety of characters, so we will try. We will work on that. So last time, you all were met. We started our case last week with a familiar face from the docks, finding Faith in the university. Who is this? The thief is, their name is Nizumi, and Nizumi is looking for information and about one of their old partners who had apparently passed away in the New Gates Penitentiary. And several years ago, Nizumi and her partner stole a magical codex called the Codex of the Traveler, or better known as the Book of Thoth, from the city museum. And it has been missing ever since and has not been found. Nizumi proclaims that she knows the identity of one of the members of possibly the Royal Flush. And so so everyone here has some interest into finding out more information about that, but decides to take the case, hopefully to help Nizumi figure out what happened to her former partner, and maybe figure out how does everything tie in with both the book, and possibly the Royal Flush. So last when we left off, Faith had a nice little meeting with the museum curator. Smurf had a nice long chat with his union rep. And Perdita also made some calls to kind of go over about the Newgate Penitentiary, knowing that Perdita has had some previous dealings with the warden for the penitentiary. And Miriam was last seen at the city morgue, with going over some of the recently received bodies. One of them being a Jane Doe, but also Miriam has still the opportunity to look over Abigail, who is Nizumi's partner's body as well. So we're gonna finish off the scene in the morgue, and then we'll meet, and then we'll continue from there. So, Miriam, you looked over the Jane Doe and her case file, and you know that the coroner had just left the room for a brief moment to try to find out why is there missing paperwork on this Jane Doe, and so you still have an opportunity to look in on the recently received body of Abigail Williams from Newgate's Penitentiary that just arrived the night before.
Okay. All right, just finishing up my notes for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she'll probably do the same exact thing.
Okay.
That she did on the Jane Doe for Abby's body, though probably a little bit more careful, because I think she's trying her best not to make any disturbance of the body, like something's out of place. But she's trying to be thorough. She's trying to do as good an investigation as she thinks Perdita would do.
Okay, so it's gonna be an investigate for sure.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna preemptively say that I'm gonna impose the weakness all alone here.
That's fair.
What other tags would you like to use for this investigation?
I'm inclined to think hospice care kind of fits, given her background set of knowledge.
Mhm.
Potentially either unyielding compassion for others or center the suffering, because I think she'd want to know, like, how is this connected to other things that have been happening with the recent, like, upsurge in cases happening at the hospital or at the hospice.
And can't you use divide and conquer?
Oh,
You
that's
could.
true, because we're all
Because
currently a little bit ways.
We're divided, and you're going to conquer this interaction.
Hey.
Yeah, and I don't think on this occasion, I might have had it before, but I don't think on this occasion it makes sense for getting past bureaucratic red tape, because
Yeah.
this is less of a like administrative like interaction and more of a like interacting with like a body.
Right. I think you're in a good place.
Yeah, so that puts me at 3 power minus the one from all alone, and this is investigate, correct?
Yes.
Investigate.
Investigate what is
And
it?
Learn the
Investigate.
secrets.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Ah,
Secrets you hold.
So
well.
we got a 5, so that is a miss. So I get to invoke a move here. So so I will say you get to the locker that is for Abigail Williams, and you pry it open. You start at least getting to the process of opening it, clicking. You click the handle and open it. There's a little bit of the air coming out, and you start pulling out the tray. And as you do, I'm going to say that I'm going to complicate things big time. So what's going to happen is you hear a commotion coming down the hallway towards the morgue station that you're at, and you can hear voices coming down, and you do hear the coroner coming down as well, but it sounds as if they're in a hurry, and it sounds like there's other voices with them, and eventually you start hearing the coroner speaking through and saying, I know it doesn't look bad, but we could probably look into it some matters. And then you hear another voice and just saying, don't worry, I have all the paperwork right here. I just need to examine the body as requested.
Is this standard procedure?
I'm going to give you that this is no.
Okay. I think if she's hearing the voices, she's probably not going to have any other time to get anything from the body in terms of taking a look at it. So I think
I don't.
Look like she wasn't doing too much.
Okay, so you're just going to try to act as if you're supposed to be in this room right now.
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm not supposed to be because because the coroner like was checking in and like he just stepped out for a second, so I was just
okay. So you're probably just like
suddenly leave, and he's like, "Where did I go?"
Right. So you're just like close the locker and just being like not just like act as if you were waiting for the coroner to come back.
Like I've just been standing here patiently and not thinking this is really weird.
Okay. So the coroner. So the doors open. You see the coroner, and at this point you see a Asian man wearing a looks like a suit, and several other men wearing hospital staff uniforms coming in. And let me just get this little doohickey here open. So you should all see an image of an Asian man in a suit coming in. He has a mustache and he has a short cut hair. He comes in and he looks over everything, and he sees you for a second, Miriam, and looks over at the coroner. Who is this? The coroner's like, oh, just a nurse that's just happened to come by for something else, totally unrelated.
Sure.
He's like, all right, and he kind of motions to the other hospital workers. They go and open the locker for Abigail Williams, and they take the body and put it in a stretcher, and then zip it up and escort it out of the room. And for a brief moment, the man walks out with the hospital staff and looks back at you for a brief moment, and then turns and walks out of the room. The coroner kind of sighs and says, sorry about that. Just some extra work that had to come through.
Right. No, I'm sure there's just follow up. Does that did he go through all the like paperwork and everything that he needed to take care of for that?
Yes, yes. It was cleared by Dr. Walters. And for everyone who doesn't know, Dr. Walters is the hospital director for Cypress Grove General.
Would I'm gonna take a guess that's not a standard behavior Walters does.
No, that is not standard in any medical practice.
I think she'll try and keep it to herself as best she can, but she will say, like, "Oh, that's interesting. I've never known Walters to actually cow for anybody, ever on anything. I've known her for years."
Mm-hmm. The coroner kind of thinks it over. Yeah, but I will say it's been with all these strange deaths lately, there have been additional reviews being put on for the autopsies as well, and Walter seems to have been having some more, just double checking the findings and having a second party review things.
Interesting.
Which I don't know why, considering I did my job exactly as intended. I don't understand. I don't understand it, but there have been some strange cases, and it seems that you didn't hear this from me, but it sounds like people are getting worried, so they've been trying to look into it more.
Okay. I think she'll start at this point just leaving, just so we can keep the shifting the attention over. I think the last thing she'll ask, because did I get a name for the coroner, by the way? I'm not sure if I did.
I don't think you did.
Okay. I think she'll just say, "You're sure you're doing? You handling everything okay? I know it's been kind of hard on all the nurses and everyone else. Are you dealing with everything all right?"
Yeah. It's just been a lot of stress lately. I just haven't had any opportunity to get any rest. We've all of our shifts have been put into overtime because even though we had reduced hours for other departments, we don't get that luxury.
Well, check in with me and Gloria some other time. We'll see what we can do for you.
Thanks. Thanks. Oh, actually, if you want, you want to retreat. Do you need to go over the personal effects for your Jane Doe still?
Yeah. If you have the time, real quick, and
Yeah.
you can just send that as info to me.
Yeah.
So I can...
And I'll say what happened. I'll just for expediency. So he'll bring you to another room where all the personal effects for all the recipients have came in, and he'll take a quick leave. And so while you're in there, between looking at the Jane Doe and Abigail, you do find for Abigail's personal effects, you do find that there is a necklace of an obsidian rabbit, and there's a note. And it seems to be addressed to, it doesn't have a name, but it has a symbol of a rat on it. And the letter, when you read it, mentions about how she's been regretful about how things went down between the both of them 5 years ago, and that if she reads this letter, then she's afraid that someone has gotten to her.
Okay. I'll leave that be. I think the player in me wants to take the note and leave, but I don't think Miriam would want to risk that, considering this is already a very anxiety-provoking situation.
Yeah. Okay, sounds perfectly fine. I think for this one, I think we can go ahead and move the scene for this, and we'll have you all reconvene in the alleyway. So you all return back to the alleyway, it's been a long night. You've all managed to have some thoughts and had some information. If you all want to talk amongst yourself for a brief minute, but you know that for tonight, this will be probably the most you can do for tonight, and tomorrow is tomorrow. I kind of imagine like Faith would be probably one of the last ones to come in because
She's always late.
yeah, yes.
True.
Right. And I'm guessing Perdita would be in front of her conspiracy board in the room.
Yeah, she's been down there on the phone pretty much the whole time, and like putting things up on the board as it goes. So she's already there.
Yep. So what has Perdita kind of come up with so far in this board? I'm just kind of curious. I want to know what is going through Perdita's mind now.
I mean, I think so from before she learned that this woman didn't have a lot of connections to people. She wasn't particularly friendly with anybody. She didn't have like a lot of visitors. Obviously, she doesn't know a lot about the death, the circumstances of the death specifically, because the coroner took her out. I'm sitting on some clues.
Yes, you are.
Which I guess I should spend. The first one I want to spend now, I guess, is now that I've had some time to think, is when was she found?
When was she found? Okay, she was found about 3 days ago in her cell, in the her cell in the penitentiary.
Okay. So she died 3 days ago, or she was found 3 days ago. She might have died before then, but nobody paid attention.
Right.
And when they found her, what was the presumed cause of death on site? Before
the autopsy. So on site, there was suspicion of either self-harm or possibly poison.
Okay. Interesting. And aside from not having a lot of friends, was anyone on the guard side paying extra attention to her? Like, did she get on somebody's bad side or anything like that?
Yes, actually. When you asked Jeremiah this question, Jeremiah Franklin, who's the warden,
Yes, the warden
of the penitentiary, Franklin informed you that earlier that week, Abigail did have a altercation with another prisoner.
Okay. Do we have that prisoner's name?
Yeah, the prisoner, their name is Joseph Perdo, and Joseph is actually, you know, Joseph because you put Joseph away, Perdita. And also you know that Joseph is a Rift.
Oh. Do I know what his mythos is? Do I need to investigate that?
I'll give it to you because this is something from your past. You know that Joseph is one of two, is actually part of another criminal duo, Joseph and Harley, and they're both Rifts, and they're both the Rifts of the Mad Hatter and the Mad Hare.
Great. I'm going deep in this like pseudo Batman kind of shit right now. Well, that's interesting. So Perdita's got her. Gets off the phone and like turns around because I think we see like she's been putting stuff up on the board and the comic.
Mhm.
She's like, "All right, thanks, Franklin. You've been helpful as always." She's like been putting things up, and then it's that over the shoulder panel as she's like got her arms folded, just looking up at this board, and so it's our Jane Doe in the middle,
Mhm.
and then strings coming out to Peridot past question mark, a little
Mhm.
sticky. Mad Hatter, why did it have to be this? No friends,
Mhm.
plenty of enemies, poison question mark.
Yep.
Wait
Oh,
for Miri.
I was gonna say also, you did find this out last time. Is that in previous years of her incarceration, Abby had always seemed confident and proclaimed that she was safe and protected.
Right, and then she's got really scared
Mhm.
before she died, right? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So like there's a big one right below it that's like confidence and then a huge note like what changed? What scares her? Big question mark, circle, circle, circle. And she's like, ugh. As whoever shows up into the basement shows up.
Is Tommy just gets back into? Does Tommy get back into the basement with another basket of mozzarella sticks?
Yeah, he walks down and he's got a basket that's got mozzarella sticks around the container of marinara, and then French fries on the outside of the basket.
Yes.
His eyes are extremely puffy and red, and he kind of sits down, and in one fluid motion, picks up some fries and a mozzarella stick and kind of just dips it in the marinara and just takes a big old bite.
Yes. Double fries.
Yeah.
Living up to the two sticks name, I see.
You all right, Tommy?
Never better.
Yeah. Had to blow off some steam, I see.
Yeah, you could say that.
Great.
Had a long talk with the union boss, you know.
Yeah, I don't, but I hope it was good.
Conversation was bullshit,
Well, that makes sense.
so I got high.
Well, you can't argue with that.
You
Listen, why don't you
can.
come over here and give me a hand with this? She's like, can you make any sense of any of this? And she's like going through the whole situation. I'm sure, which is like not at all what Tommy is mentally
I
prepared
just love
for
how
right
even
now.
keel Perdita is in this moment. Just like, all right, come help me with this. You do you, bud.
I don't know. Maybe you get some kind of like clarity when you're stoned.
I think at that point,
A rare moment
Smurf,
of lucidity.
I think for Tommy, go ahead, Tommy, make a change the game move. I think this fits really well with that.
I love it so much. Yes.
I mean, it literally says use this move when you help somebody. And get...
Oh wow!
Was I supposed to
Yeah.
add power? Because I didn't.
Oh yeah, you need power on that baby.
What should I
May change.
use?
Do you have a
See-
tag about your smoking habit?
Yes, he does.
Seriously? That's
I
Yes,
beautiful.
he does.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah,
I think it's a weakness tag. I think, right?
it's
Or is
a
it? No.
weakness tag. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But-
we'll include it. But
But
I
you
think
also have. Do you have help for Perdita? Because if you're helping her and you have help for her, you can use it.
Yeah, I have 2 help that I could spend. How do I
Okay.
spend help?
okay. So if you spend the help, so usually what you do to spend help is you spend help as if you were using it as juice. So juice in the game, you can use it to create either a story tag, you can burn a tag, to gain temporary or ongoing story tag. You can give a status or reduce or improve or remove a status. So if you want to, I could say if you really want to, you can spend that juice to give you a story tag that just says, we'll call it Cloud 9.
Also, don't
Okay.
forget with our new improvement, you get an extra juice.
Yep.
Oh,
That
right.
is true.
right.
So
When
I feel
when
like
spending help or hurt specifically.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So you
So
can
I have
just spend so you can technically spend
The
you the one and get an extra one, so you can give
Okay.
yourself a +2 for being stoned.
okay.
and that should mitigate your negative and still give you a net positive, unless
Yeah.
you want more out of it.
Do I also get to burn a power tag since it's taking place at the alleyway, or no?
You can what you can do
You just use
is
it. I don't think you have to burn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to
Oh, yes.
burn
Okay,
it.
cool.
Yeah. So that
So
will put you
I
at
have-
+2.
I have the
Net.
minus from frequently needing to smoke. I have using a help and the alleyway. So my combined power is 2 on the roll. Sound
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Sounds right. Oh
Ah, shit. It was
Okay.
better without the stuff.
I feel like we could have just used the other one and added
Yeah,
the power
that-
to
that's
it.
what I was thinking.
I was thinking that's what we were gonna do.
Yeah,
but
that's like
whatever.
that.
Yeah, I was just gonna
So-
take. I'm just gonna take your previous roll, Smurf, and we're just
Okay.
gonna add it in. So
So-
that's not a big deal.
So it's a 9.
So
Okay.
so it's a 9. Okay, so you do actually succeed in that roll. So with that, you can 1 for 1. You get, I believe, 2 juice if I remember correct.
Because
Yeah,
you have 2
juice for
power
power.
total. Yeah.
Yeah, you have 2 power for that, so it's 2 juice, and so you can spend it 1 for 1 to create a story tag. You can either burn a power tag or create or a story tag, or reduce or give a status
Question.
tag.
It's 3 juice.
Oh, right,
You
because of
subtract
the
1 power for the weakness.
Right, but because he used a help, he gets an extra juice because of our improvement.
If he's using the juice to help me specifically,
Yes.
then yes, he gets an extra point.
So then we have 3.
Oh yeah, she's
Right.
right. Because
Okay,
we get
so,
the 2
yeah,
from the
so 3.
power plus the additional from our group improvement.
Right. So okay, so you get a juice of 3. So what you can do, Smurf, is you can create a story tag or a status tag that maybe might go on Perdita. So the
Okay.
story tag can be an object, an item. It could be it could be kind of a thing. So story tags are going to be so they're like anything that's like qualities, items, abilities, objects, beings, concepts, or effects.
Stoned insight.
Yeah. I like it.
Stoned insight. Okay.
Is this like board got like red string that ties things together?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Push
Okay.
pins, red string.
I
Post-it
think like he gets really drawn to colors because he's high. And I think that like he's like looking at the string specifically and like everything's kind of blurry. And has this moment of stoned clarity where he's like, well, that shouldn't be like that. That doesn't make any sense. Let's investigate that, and like picks up a card and kind of tries to connect a dot somewhere else.
Like a new point of view or
Yeah,
a different way
yeah.
of looking at
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
New perspective. Fresh
Yeah.
eyes.
Okay.
Fresh
Fresh
eyes.
eyes.
Fresh
So-
eyes.
so
Ooh, I
the
like
stat-
fresh eyes. Yeah.
So I think the
Fresh,
status.
puffy red eyes.
So the
Clear
status
eyes.
for-
I was gonna say special eyes, but I actually kind of
I
like
think-
clear eyes better.
Special
So,
eyes.
Perdita, go ahead-
special
go
eyes
ahead
in
and-
realizing lies.
So Perdita, why don't you give yourself a fresh eyes 3 status,
All right.
and you can use that for that would be definitely a positive tag you want if you wish to use like an investigate here.
I mean, that's just you can't just pick up things that have bright colors and wait. You're right. It doesn't make any sense. Why didn't I see that before? Because I've been so close to the whole thing. I've just been having my nails down to the grindstone. I should be looking back at the broad picture. I should just stretch my legs and my God, my blood sugar must be through the floor. I gotta give me those. She just grabs a couple fries and starts shoving them in her mouth. Like, all right, so if that's the case, if this is here, then we're gonna. Okay, she's like starting to revamp.
Okay.
And like that, I
If
think
you
that
want-
in the background,
yeah.
she's thinking about
I
that.
love it.
If you want, you can do an investigate and bank those clues for later.
Yeah, let's do that now because I think she's gonna hold on to it for sure.
Yeah.
So
So you can because that's the nice thing is we can bank those clues.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we could just roll it, move on with the story, and if we can always do a flashback for them.
Yep. So I'm gonna tag in her PI, her perpetual curiosity,
Mhm.
The alleyway. 'Cause
Yeah.
We've got this whole conspiracy board down here
Oh yeah, totally.
for sure. And then
And you got the fresh eyes status tag.
yeah, I'm gonna use the my voracious reading because she can like speed read and
Mhm.
take in information really quickly.
Mhm.
And then I'm also again going to invoke my weakness of more questions than answers. And
Go
then
ahead
add
and mark the
my
attention.
fresh eyes. Here we go. All right.
Miriam, make sure you marked attention for the all alone.
I did. I
Okay.
took my improvement as well.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Spicy. All right, I've got 6 power. Let's see what happens. Is this dividing and conquering, or is that cheese?
That's cheese.
That's cheese. Yeah, that's what I
also
thought.
I'm also referencing the fact that there's also mozzarella sticks in the scene.
Oh, no big deal. It's just a 13. Whatever.
Hold on.
I gotta
Hold
flex on people every now and then.
Investigate tags using investigate rolls using my routine
Mhm.
or dynamite.
Oh, they're dynamite? Sweet.
Yes.
Sweet. So investigate on the dynamite. So 12 plus dynamite. Your investigation reveals a key detail. The MC will reveal the most valuable detail in the scene, and then you can use your clues as follow-up questions or other questions as usual. So your
Hell
power
yeah.
was 6. So you bank 6 clues. It's going to your source and method. Your source is conspiracy wall. Your method is lines connecting or red string or if you want to do threads of threads of fate, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, threads of fate. That's the.
So,
Now we're playing with into tropes here.
yeah.
All right.
Okay. So the key detail that you get from this investigation, the key detail you have is okay. So let's think about this as as what you have so far. You know that Abigail and Nizumi did a job 5 years ago to steal this book, right? This mystical codex. And out of everything so far you've learned about in terms of what you know about Abigail in terms of prison life and knowing what you know about Abigail from Nizumi so far, you know that there was some kind of falling out, that eventually Abigail was imprisoned and incarcerated, and then for years Abigail proclaimed that they were safe and protected, or at least they felt that way. And then recently things did not change suddenly, and whatever changed, it resulted eventually in her death. And the only thing that seems to connect to everything is the fact that there's a codex. Where's the codex? And Nizumi never shared that detail.
Okay. She's like, it's coming down to the. What comes down to this codex? What's going on with that? Damn. We need everybody else here. I think we're getting somewhere. We're onto something.
Oh, it's just you and I.
Anyone else want to arrive?
Well, I thought I was going to be last, so I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, Meaty will come in at that point to facilitate Faith coming in faster. So Meaty will come in and like something akin to intense focus and also like growing unease when she's trying to keep something that's bothering her down, but she's
Mhm.
not around them. It doesn't work Around a lot of other people it works. Around them it doesn't work for shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. You have an energy.
Is that obvious?
Eat some cheese.
I mean, I was planning to. She's like already halfway, like grabbing like several mozzarella sticks. She's like, Perdita, I think we have something with the hospital that might be connected here.
Oh, good, because we're starting to put some things together, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing, but I want to know more.
I'm not liking what I think I'm finding either.
I
All right,
think
well,
she-
what'd you step in?
I think at that moment is when Faith like slinks in, and it's like Faith is very large, but she kind of like opens the door as like small as possible to like shove her body in, and shuts it behind her, and kind of like slinks over to a chair and just sits down.
Okay, we've all had an interesting night. Do we want to go through this now, or do we want to wait?
Before we do, I'm gonna get something from the van.
Meaty's preemptively like looking to see if she has an extra lighter for no reason whatsoever.
And Tommy is going to use his ability leave the yard
Yes.
to appear outside of the alleyway, like next to the van. Instead of getting up and walking, he's just going to literally like leave the building.
Yeah.
He's going to grab a couple of tapes from inside the van and then run back downstairs inside. When he gets in there, he's gonna pull out a Rush tape and he's gonna put it into like the little boombox that we have.
Yep.
And he's gonna turn on YYZ and he's just gonna hit play. It's like, now we can solve crime.
I've changed the music accordingly. You're welcome.
That one drum solo will solve any mystery for sure.
I mean, we can't play Rush because it's copyright, but I've got
Yeah.
just an 80s action background for us all right now.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That is funny.
Just imagining in the middle of like someone having an epiphany, it goes like doo 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 doo. It's just more people. I'll do the air drum solo at the same time. It's not even like consciously. We just do it by reflex.
Just do it by reflex. That's fair. So I'm going to assume you all take the time to kind of do this little bit where you all tell each other what you've all experienced in your last couple hours, so that way we don't have to really reiterate a lot of those details. But I will say, if you want, so the night passes by, because I think we're going to go into a montage after this, so I think it's a good way to move through your...
All I know is Faith doesn't want to go home
Oh, okay.
by herself.
Okay.
And I think she'd probably just say that out loud. I might stay here tonight, I guess. I don't know.
You all right?
I feel like someone's following me. I don't want to go home.
So who's following you? We'll
I
go
don't-
find them.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's fuck him up.
I don't know. It's just a feeling. Like someone's watching me.
We can't fight a feeling.
No, you can. You definitely can.
He's fighting several feelings right now.
You have to do it with a copious amount of chemicals, but it can be done.
Oh god.
No, if you need a couch to sleep on tonight, you don't have to stay here. You can. I got couches.
Yeah, so
At
do
least
I.
at least two. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
I don't want to choose between people. That's weird. I don't.
Okay,
Wow.
I'm gonna
Wait.
lead you. At this point, Media is just gonna start leading you towards the door when we
She
do
doesn't
leave
want to
towards-
offend one of you because she likes both of you. That would be mean.
Hey Tommy, would you care? Would you care if she picks you over me, or if she picks me over you?
I do not care.
I also don't care that much.
Rochambeau for it.
I think I'm going to win this by default. I think I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah, I can see.
Faith, you're going.
Yeah. Okay. Then we can go into
Oh, wow.
montage. yeah.
3 people just
Okay.
actually.
Well, I will say this before you guys go into montage. So, Miri and Faith, when you head out of the alleyway later, you do see there's still a few patrons in the alleyway, and as you're walking by, Faith, you didn't. I believe I gave you a tag last time, if I remember.
Yeah, followed.
Okay.
You gave me the tag followed.
Okay. So I'm going to say, can you roll me face danger for a brief second?
Of course. Can I use
There-
tags for
Something's
this?
just not right still. Huh?
Can I use tags for this?
Yes, of course.
I'm assuming I'm using my Wolfsbane weakness tag.
Uh-huh.
Or am I using the fold as weakness?
Well, the followed is just a status tag, so
okay,
you're
okay,
gonna that's
so-
included as well. So it is going to be at but actually yeah, that's fine. But followed is not going to be included against
Okay.
you in this one. It's going to be Wolfsbane for sure is a good weakness tag here. And what kind of power tags would you
I
like to
think
employ?
one with the wolf.
Okay.
Just because I tend to be aware of what's around me. I don't know if I have anything else that fits under.
You have the alleyway.
Oh, the alleyway. I can use the alleyway, right? But I don't think I have anything else that really fits under. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Because if it's just
All
I
right.
don't know the danger's coming, I can't use strong hind or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to go.
That's
So
that's
you have
a
a power of
9.
1.
So I have a
Okay,
power of 1. I take the
so-
status, but with a -1 tier.
Right. So face the danger. You got a 9. Yeah, you take the status, but get a -1 tier. So what happens is you would get another so normally what happens is in this scenario you would have gotten another followed 2, but in this instance because it got reduced, you don't actually. So what happens is, let me see here. A greater tier replaces a smaller tier, adds pips. So you know how you see there's on the followed tracker card, there's little sections on the 3. Like
Yeah.
you can click on sections of it. Click on that on the one on the
Just
left. of
First
3.
section. Okay.
Yeah. So those are little pips. So so this is how you all have your health in the game is whenever your tracking statuses go to a 5, like any kind of statuses, when they go to a 5, your character is incapacitated in some way, or is out of the action in some way. If you're taking a status that is usually a lower tier than the one you currently have,
Mm-hmm.
then it will only up the pips on those tracks.
Oh, okay.
If you take in the case, see and because you reduced it, you didn't end up going straight to a 3 right away.
Okay.
You ended up with a pip on 3. So, but if you get that on you again, it will fill up that 3, and you become a followed 3.
Okay. And then how do you get rid
Okay.
of these? Just so.
You can get rid of them from different ways. You can spend juice for those if you
Okay.
wanted to. You can also, I believe, you can do it through a move as well. Which change the game would be one because you
Okay.
get juice to do that.
Okay.
That would be usually one way to do it.
Okay, cool.
And yeah,
Okay, cool.
so good on you. So as you both are leaving, Faith, you still feel as if there is something, this sensation of eyes on you.
Can we take a different route to your place? I feel like there's still someone following, and I don't want them to find your place.
Yeah, sure. Let's.
Okay, and you will eventually leave the alleyway together, and I think that's a good spot for us to cue a montage for all of us. So for everyone who's viewing the game with us, a montage is basically the group's downtime activities. So they get a series of choices to pick from. They get to choose one. They can give attention to one of their logos, themes. They can either work the case, they can explore their mythos, they can prepare for the next upcoming activity, or they can recover from their last activity. So why don't we have everyone go around the horn and kind of let us know what is kind of working for you. Is there anybody who knows what they want to do right away? I have a feeling Tommy's going to have to still deal with his logos.
Yeah, Tommy will head home and, like, for lack of a better term, like, start to spiral, because he knows that the following day is gonna be the first day that, like, he's not gonna follow his routine. And his routine is, like, a big part of his life, and it keeps him, like, regimented.
Okay.
And we've already started to see, like, some elements of self-destructive behaviors. And I think that's probably going to continue a little bit over this montage. Where, like, he'll probably stay up too late, and he'll probably drink, and he'll probably be drinking alone, and that type of thing.
So normally the move tells you to take an attention on that routine. So I feel like you can still get that attention, but I also feel like a crack is good here, because you're also dealing with the fact that situationally you're just not at work right now.
Okay. So take an attention and a crack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just feel like narratively that just makes the most sense here. That right now you're just having this issue of, like, work is forcing you to stay at home, and this is something you're just not ever accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just having, but you're also thinking back about it, and you're also trying to concentrate on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Anybody have anything they want to do for their montage downtime?
I'm gonna put some attention on my logos.
Okay.
Because I am always working someone else's case.
So whose other case are you working on?
So specifically, it's still this one. We've kind of moved from like, we're still looking into the Roth mystery, but now we're also looking into this other related mystery. And so I think what Perdita is doing is, like, I think if the sister doesn't already know Chris is dead, then I think she has to spend some time, like, showing up and talking about it and being like, listen, I'm sorry this happened. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna figure this out. But, like, I've got a lot on my plate. I want you to know this is still important to me.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, Helen was very distraught with your call, and you met Helen and consoled her and tried to do what you could to ease some of the blow of the fact that Chris Roth is no longer among the living.
I know it's hard, and I don't know what all the details. I wasn't even expecting to get into this sort of specific mess, and it looks like it's going to be a long time until we know exactly what's going on. But I promise you, I'm going to find who did this to him. I'm going to find out why.
She kind of sniffles a little bit and says, "Thank you. I just know that wherever Chris is now, I'm hoping he's in a better place."
Sure he is.
Oh, and while I'm here, and she's like opens her purse and hands the envelope to you, I got something odd from Chris's life insurance plan. I got the money. That's not the weird part. It came with this, and I don't know what it means. And honestly, I didn't know what to do with it. So maybe this can help you with something.
Oh, if you want me to have it, I'll take it off your hands and I'll put it to good use.
Thanks. I just don't know what to do with it. And as she's handing you the envelope, you hear the sound of some kind of metallic like rubbing against each other in the envelope.
Thanks. And she like takes a step back, lets her close the door, whatever, and then opens it.
Inside is 2 coins, 2 gold coins.
Oh, curiouser and curiouser. Cut.
That just makes me so happy every time you say it.
I gotta give every opportunity there is for that phrase to come up. Who wants to go next for their for our downtime?
I can go next for Mythos.
Okay.
I think as much as she's intrigued by all the stuff with the logos on the routine and logo side of her life, I think especially with like Faith meant like because Faith staying over at her place, this is relevant to the Mythos part. I think she has more of a connection to the flower sort of shielding sort of element of her abilities, because I think there's a sense of like, okay, you matter, I guess, but a friend being here and needing to be safe is even bigger than that.
Right.
So I kind of imagine like there's more flowers blooming around like Faith wherever she's sleeping, like whatever room or couch she's like sleeping on. And I think part of that also is like she's terrified of what happened the last time she went into the dreams and tried talking with the other part of herself.
Right.
But I think she also is like, if this means that my friends are going to be okay, it's worth getting a little bit frightened, because it became immediately irrelevant last time, so she's going to risk it, and she's going to sink and try and hope for going back into the dreams.
Okay. So for the dreams this time, you find that you're not back in the hospital, but you're in a hedge, and the maze is still around you, but it's a lot where you are, it's a lot brighter. And as you're walking through, with every step, you notice that bits of flowers begin to bloom in your wake. And the air is not as stifling. The mist is not even here. And it just feels very serene for you right now. And you see in your image, you see a large wolf sleeping on a bed of flowers. And nearby, in another little corridor in your hedge maze, you see a rabbit also resting on a bed of flowers. Very peaceful and serene still. And in another corridor, you see a what looks like kind of a memorial. It has a bronze statue of, looks like a man holding a baseball bat, and there's also flower wreaths, and also more flowers around each of them. And every time you walk by, it's not a feeling of dread that as you're walking by. You feel as if life is still growing, life is blooming, and it actually feels comforting where you are right now. And as you're doing so, there eventually becomes a cloud, a dark cloud coming over the horizon, and you can see that there's like a division of light of the suns of the light, the very sun-touched sky, versus the dark cloud that's looming, and you see sparks of lightning, and you can tell that there is something coming, and something seems to be very intent on entering this garden.
I'll assume that's the clue I'm getting about our situation.
Mhm. Yeah, so you get one clue. The method is, of course, always your dream, and the source is also your dreams. So you can ask me a question about that using that clue anytime if you want, and go ahead and mark an attention on your mystery.
Which means that one also improves as well.
There we go.
2 and 1. 2 and 1.
Nice.
2 and 1. Nice.
Yeah, I think that's the first time probably in year or two she wakes up
Mhm.
later on at the end of that and like just goes and checks in on Faith. But like if she sees her just like sleeping peacefully, she'll like actually like make breakfast and then just have that ready for whenever Faith gets up.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like it. I think Faith has been getting up at a normal time and like trying to
Okay.
help out around the house because she feels at loose ends. She's been going and doing her volunteer work and all of that stuff, but she hasn't been doing school because she's taking some time off. But I think one day she wakes up and she goes in search of Tommy.
Okay.
And she'll go find. I'm gonna explore my mythos. And she's
Okay.
gonna go find Tommy and be like, "Hey, you wanna go have some fun?" I can't hear you.
What kind of fun?
I just want to let loose a little bit. I'm really bad at it, but I thought you and I together we might have some fun letting loose.
I'm really good at it.
Yeah, I know. I thought
Okay.
maybe you could teach me.
Okay.
But we have to kind of go somewhere where people can't find us. So, like, that's
I know places.
okay. Cool. And so I think that they would go somewhere, and she's gonna wolf out and be like, "Okay,
Okay.
yeet some shit at me."
All right. This sounds pretty good.
I think it's like just like one of those like montages where they're just like training but having fun. She just wants someone where she knows she's not going to feel bad. So she's going to explore the hair of the Scotty, the whole
Okay.
wolf experience. Like, will she lose herself to the beast if she just becomes it and like lets go? She knows that Tommy's good at letting go into this, but also that he has a strong routine and he's kind of at a loss
Okay.
right now too because of that. And so I think it's just like, let's have fun together. Let's forget the crap for a minute and let's just be
Yeah.
these cool things
Okay.
we can be.
I think they probably go to like an abandoned hospital upstate. I think
Okay.
kind of makes sense.
Makes sense. So you're in this like abandoned part of like upstate. It's a little further ways out of the city, but still close enough. And you know, this is where Kate, you can let loose, be a wolf. And as you're doing so, as the more and more as you're training with Tommy, and I'm going to assume it's going to be something along the lines of Tommy basically baseballing a ball in the air and you just going fetching it
I'm just out playing fetch with my dog.
your giant, like 8-foot long dog.
You're playing catch with your big boof is essentially
Big
your
boof,
big
yeah.
size.
We're
Your
just
big
playing catch. No big deal.
So
Sunday goofing.
as you're doing that, there's that bit of peace, that bit of joy and bliss that you're experiencing, Faith, that this just feels so much more natural to you, that you just feel so much more confident, you just feel so much more in control. And as you're doing so, there's a brief moment where your wolf senses hears something, and I'm kind of leaning into the giving into the animal bit, where you instantly perk up and kind of try to determine what is there. And I will
What
say
is a
even
girl?
for yeah. So yeah,
Hello,
even Tommy
Priscilla.
notices
This
you're
is why I
on
picked
alert.
you.
And for a brief, I will say for this, I think for this, I'll let you decide. What do you want to do about the noise that's coming from not that far away from you? It sounds like as if something's in the bushes or by the trees.
I'm gonna let out a growl to alert Tommy, and I'm gonna head toward the like a deep growl that I've used to communicate with the team before of something that I'm not sure about that I want to check out. I'm gonna head toward the bushes, I think.
You're gonna head to the bushes.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like I feel like that is going to be either go so you're gonna try to see if okay. I think for this one it's daring enough. So let's go ahead and let's see if you can take the risk for me.
Okay, I'm gonna use some tags for this. I will
Go
say I'm giving into the animal. I'm gonna invoke that weakness.
Okay.
I'm one with the wolf though, and my heart is my power. I'm gonna use those. I don't think he's weak, and then I'm gonna use relentless.
And I'm go ahead, and you already used giving into the animal, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yep.
And I'm doing take a risk. Okay.
Yep. Ooh, okay, things will get messy.
Hard bargain or
So-
an ugly choice, my favorite.
Yeah, hard choices or ugly bargain. So I want it. So you kind of. So I figure you're gonna like jump in and see and see what's like, kind of like pounce on what's there.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a sneak up and then like pounce in. Yeah.
Okay, so as you're thinking about doing so, you can clearly tell that this is somebody you've never seen before. But looks like they were looking at the general area of where you and Tommy's Two Sticks were kind of playing for a moment, and you notice that the person is kind of wearing like kind of like a tracksuit kind of hoodie, and also and has like a baseball cap on, has the hood up and everything. And you notice that they have a camera on them. And I'm gonna say too that because you're, that there's that moment of where, so the hard choice is you can either actually pounce this person or they're gonna leave.
Oh. Yeah, I'll pounce them. But I think she's gonna let out like a howl as she's doing it, so Tommy knows that there's someone there.
Yeah. Okay, but I also want to point out the last half of that. So
Oh.
the hard bargain
part
is the hard part is you can let him go.
Yeah.
The ugly one is you pounce, but you're gonna hurt him.
Oh shit.
And you had a power of 2, so I would impose a nice little injury on them. See how it's a hard choice and a bargain? What do you want to do?
She's been paranoid as fuck that she's been followed. I think she's gonna pounce him. I think that's what she would do because she's
Sounds great.
paranoid as fuck right now.
Sounds excellent.
Shit.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll a hit with all you've got.
Oh no, I feel so bad. Do I need to put I need to put tags on this, right?
Yeah, you need to put tags as well.
Probably one with the wolf. Probably still giving into the animal and inhuman strength. I probably should hit.
Go ahead and give yourself the tag of giving into the animal as well.
Yeah, I did. I already did.
Okay.
Yeah. I assumed.
Yeah. And we're gonna go with
That's a 9.
for this. It's a 9. Okay. So on a hit with all you've got on a 9, you get to choose one. You can either take cover or secure a superior position. If you don't choose this, they impose a status on you. You can get them good, or you can control the collateral damage, or you can hold the target's attention if possible, or you gain the upper hand and take 1 juice to spend on.
I'm gonna gain the upper hand and take a juice.
Okay, so how do you want to spend your juice? So you can spend it to either create a story tag, you can either burn a tag, or you can give a status, or you can reduce a status.
Can I reduce followed? Or is that even possible?
For this, yeah, you can.
Okay. So does it just reduce it to 2 then?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll do that.
So you pounce on him, and Tommy, you hear a visceral like man scream, and like I will say that for this one, because it's a little messy, Faith, your claws are digging through the tracksuit.
I will move over there extremely quickly.
And you just hear the guy scream, "Get off of me!"
As I get close, like, what do I see?
You see a man in a tracksuit. He seems to be wearing a baseball cap. He wears a Yankees, so everyone just or automatically just doesn't like him already. And and you see
Yankee with no brim.
and you see Faith in full wolf form, like literally like pounced on top of this man with teeth like glaring down, and you can see that there's a little bit of the claw. Yeah, a little bit of you can see a little bit of blood dripping off of the claws. And you can see the man's like trying to physically like try to push Faith off with his one hand, and it's just not working. And he can't. You can tell that it's like if Faith really wanted to, Faith would probably be able to rip his throat out.
What are you doing out here?
I was just taking a walk.
I think that she'll just growl in his face. That's all I'm doing. I'm not digging the claws in anymore. Just growling.
Listen, don't bullshit me. I'm a bullshitter. I can smell out my own bullshit. I can smell yours too.
Okay. I think you can make a convince for me, Smurf.
Word.
Oh, I can help with this. If you want me. No, but you're good at this. You'll be fine.
So I'm gonna use smooth as glass, rugged and strong, and also lead from the front.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
And I needed all those. 7.
Oh, you got a 7. Okay, so all right, so they can either give in a little, but protect their own agenda. So there's a moment where he just goes, look, I was out here taking pictures of the trees, the woods. I'm a nature photographer, for Pete's sakes. Also, what do you feed this thing? It's huge.
It's the inner city diet. Listen, it's a lot of protein, a lot of fried cheese, but helps bulk up.
You can
Listen,
there's a moment of disbelief when he say that, but he's really just not going to question it at the moment.
what kind of camera does he have?
Let's see, it's in the 80s, so we're going to go with a Canon. And you can tell it's a
Uh-huh.
you can tell it's a definitely like a professional camera.
All right. Here's the deal we're gonna make. And this is kind of the only option. I'm gonna take the roll of film out of that camera. I'm gonna take all the
Mhm.
rolls of film on your person. I'm gonna give you your camera. And you're gonna run back home. And you're gonna get that you haven't even met me. Oh, my dog.
He kind of looks at you for a moment. It's just like, I can't really do anything with this thing on me now, can I?
Exactly. And Tommy at this point is going to start like collecting the camera and looking for other rolls of film.
Okay. I think at this point, go ahead and make a change the game for me, because I think for this one, you're going to help out Faith in some way. So go ahead and do a change the game for me on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. You already used some of your other ones before, so don't use those same tags here in this scene.
Let's see here.
So I would say you're committed to the job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I want to say for here,
Well, and you're
Okay. Can I also use access to smuggling? Like, I might want to swipe something that's other than what I said.
sure, I'll let
Like
that
if
go.
if I came across like his ID or something, I might
Mhm.
want to take that or
Okay,
type of thing.
I like that.
Okay.
Let's see what you get.
Woo!
Ooh,
Nice.
if only it was dynamite. If only it was dynamite. Oh boy. All right. So with that, for the change the game on so you're gonna get the 10 plus. So you get a minimum of I think you put 2 juice in. So you get 2 juice. So you can spend that to create story tags, burn any power or story tags, reduce or give a status, and you can also on a 10 plus you can scale up an effect, prolong one, hide one, or make any improvements that we can agree on. So I think for this situation, I feel like the best thing you could do is like reduce the status on Faith.
Okay. Yeah,
You can spend all 2 of them. You can spend all 2 of them to remove Faith's suspected status if you want,
Yeah, I'll do that.
or followed.
Yeah, on the followed
You're
status.
the best.
I think that would be a good way to go.
That's beautiful.
I think that's the best way you can
Followed
use that.
by the paparazzi, the jerks.
Yeah.
You take all the film. So Tommy, you take all the film, pull it all out, just rip it all out, just like.
Oh no, I don't
expose
want to
to
rip
the-
it out.
Oh.
I don't want to. I want to physically take it.
Because he wants
Okay.
to know what's on it.
I want to know what's
Okay.
on it. Yeah,
All right.
that's gonna be more helpful to Perdita than anything.
Yeah. I love it.
Cool. Sounds good. I like that. So you take the film, you search his pockets. You do find you do take any of the extra rolls of film. You don't get to take the wallet. You find the wallet, but you can't. It's gonna be bad if you take the wallet. But you do spot the wallet, and you do see an ID card in there, and you do see a driver's license. But then you notice behind the driver's license, there is another ID, and you can tell that this person he was definitely not a nature photographer. He was looks like he was a detective from the city police.
Do we have a name? Does he get a name?
Robert Peterson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
I was going to the exact. I was
Robert
like,
Paulson
I
now.
was
We'll make
thinking
it
the
so.
same thing.
Let's make it Robert Paulson.
Paul Robertson.
Paul
Paul
Robertson.
Paul
that
Robertson.
one. I want that one. I want
You want that one? Paul Robertson. All right. We'll go with Paul. We'll go with Paul Robertson.
Paul Robertson. Added to my notes.
I imagine that like one of the film canister rolls he got is like
Mhm.
one that's filled with quarters for public transportation.
Yep.
I love it so much.
Yep.
So good.
God, that brings me back.
Yeah. Oh God. Same.
We used to use that for the phone booth too. Jeez. All right.
I think that
So
once
yeah.
Tommy takes care of it, Faith will
Mhm.
like pull back off of him
Mhm.
slowly.
Yep.
And just kind of sit there as he like stands up to leave,
Okay.
baring her teeth at him.
He's just gonna. You can see there's still a little bit of blood trickling from his chest where you were, and he just like grips it a little bit tight, and he's just like starts kind of walking slowly out of view. I think for the end of this little montage scene, go ahead and give yourself a clue. The source and method is going to be the source is police detective. The method is ID. And you get one clue for that.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And I'm going to just make a quick little update here for myself.
Oh, great. Just a quick little update there for himself. That's just fantastic.
let the GM plot. Let the GM plot. It's part of how we all get joy.
I just added something for myself, just to remind myself for later. Because, just more stuff for me to use to hurt y'all later.
Because I, just attacked a police detective. No big deal.
Yeah, like I said, more stuff to hurt y'all with.
No big deal. No big deal.
Thanks.
Don't follow people surreptitiously taking pictures of them. Seriously. Anyway.
Yeah, but seriously, it does suck. So we're gonna go ahead, and I think that is the last scene for our montage. So we're gonna move back into the main story again, and it's night. It's the end of the day, and everyone is kind of the city is winding down. The traffic is busy and bustling as always, and so yeah, we're gonna go to break after this. So so as you all return back to the alleyway, and you've had some time to mull over a little bit about your normal stuff, your normal parts of your lives, but also thinking about the case and where you want to go next. As you know that probably there might be more clues maybe in the penitentiary, or maybe there's whatever's going on in the hospital. Something's going on in the hospital. And there might be something worthwhile to look into. And I think that's a good place for us to take a break as we kind of figure out where we want to go next. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes, like about 5 minutes. And so stick around, get comfy, take a bio break, or get some water, and take your meds. Please hydrate, and we'll see you back in a few minutes.
Be right back.
And we're back. Thanks for waiting. Hope you didn't miss us too much. All right, we're going to go straight back in. We're going to go right into the heart of the investigation. You are all back in the alleyway after having quite a day amongst yourselves. So
I need to
You've
know
all
if
met-
we're listening to our Rush tape still, or are we? I need to
I
know.
think
It's
no
very
one's-
important. I think
no,
we
it's back
are.
in the van. It's
Yeah.
back in the van.
Okay, I think we are. I just need to know for music importance.
Okay.
I think Tommy like walks
Okay.
back into our room in the alleyway
Mm-hmm.
where like I assume Perdita is sitting like mulling over stuff and like
Yeah.
pulls out like all of the rolls of film.
I think I'm with Tommy. I think Faith is gonna
Yeah.
come back with Tommy. Yeah.
And Tommy like pulls them out of like his jacket and there's like 3 or 4 rolls and just kind of dumps them on the table.
Well, we figured out who was following me.
A photog with the police department.
I was gonna say, I didn't think you had any paparazzi coming after you, trying to take pictures for the evening news, but we got the film. I guess we could try and take this to a dark room and
Get it developed. Yeah. I'd say that would be a good one. For that one, I'll go ahead and say yeah. It doesn't take too long to develop film, because even in reality it doesn't. So I'm gonna say your dark room is a closet.
Is it
Yeah,
off
it's
of
gonna-
our room?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's in the room, but it's literally a it's literally one of the closets.
one of
And
the
you just
mock
repurposed
closets
it.
that's-
Yeah.
You have a light on the outside that you flick when you're in there, so we don't open the door and mess everything up. You have
Yeah, of
to.
course.
Right.
It's important.
Or there's like a little sign that we turn around.
Yeah, in use.
Mhm.
So Perdita, you go and develop the film, and when you develop the film, you see that the initial pictures of Faith, it seems to be photos of Faith walking up to the museum, Faith inside the museum, Faith talking with the museum curator, and several shots, and then several close-up shots of Faith, and then Faith, couple more shots following Faith, and then eventually, Faith, did you turn back into a wolver to
I
leave, or did you just walk?
No, I turned
Okay,
back
you
into
did.
A wolf earlier.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did, and that's why I said danger will come
Yeah,
now. So I
yeah.
said so.
Yeah.
So yes, there are photos of Faith shifting into the wolf, or into her wolf form, and then several more shots after that, and then there's a few where it's the photos of the alleyway, outside the alleyway, and then a couple more shots of Faith, and it seems to be one with Miriam in it, and then a few more shots of Tommy and Faith being out in some abandoned area, playing fetch, and Faith transforming into the wolf form, and a couple more shots of her in wolf form.
So Perdita comes out of the dark room a little bit later, with the pictures hanging up in the background.
Mhm.
So we've got 2 murders on our hands, and you guys decided to go practice your layup drills?
We're blowing off some steam.
I guess. It's just a dangerous court you decided to play on, I guess. Or you've got some very interested admirers who are keeping a very close eye on you. Do you know how much you get around, Faith? Because I didn't, and these people do. And I show her the pictures of like, here's you going here, this place, this place, this place. It's like,
I told you, I told you I went there. I told you everything I found out there. I thought.
do you?
She even told us she thought she was being followed.
Yeah, that's true. Faith, how long has this been going on? Since we started taking this case, or does it go even further back?
Being followed.
I'll say there's even a shot of her from the university.
Is it in
Just
the
like
earliest roles. Yeah, it's more like it's more like Faith before she met up with Nizumi. So there was like a couple shots of her going in and out of the university.
Oh. So before.
Just before.
It would seem just before. I don't know.
Okay. Listen. I know this is hard, and this is a lot. And it's really gross to have people in your business like this. But Faith, if you're in some kind of trouble, or if you're sticking your nose around where people are gonna notice it, I mean, I can't help you if I don't know what's going on. I think like she thinks like I want to help you, and like is clearly being a little overbearing about it. Of like I want to violate your boundaries to
Yeah.
get the truth. Like I think without realizing it, she's taking this kind of like parenting, like you got to let me in kind of angle.
I've only done this stuff with y'all. I haven't done anything except my normal things, so
Haven't you been poking around by the mayor?
not... no. I don't think... I haven't been, have I?
No, you haven't. You burnt your anonymous contact.
Yeah.
Couldn't get back to you. So
Yeah.
right now that tag is burnt.
And if it was before, the only thing I could think of, shit.
Oh no.
What about my bag? I think I left it behind, right, Tommy?
Oh fuck.
I just thought that they picked it up and then thought it was lost, but you didn't get it back and no one said anything, did they?
No, no one said a goddamn thing.
Shit.
Not that they would. Fuck me.
Well, someone has it.
They sure do.
Did you tell us that your bag went missing? Did we know that?
Tommy knew and Miri knew.
I feel like Perdita would have known as well.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think she didn't know.
I don't think that.
Maybe she
Okay.
didn't pay
Because I
attention.
think the two of you talked because you saw it and you were like helping her with it. Because I want to put attention on one of my weaknesses, which I haven't done,
Okay.
which is fits of frustration,
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah.
her
Ooh.
personality. So she's like
Yeah.
listening to
Yeah.
this, and the two of you are talking about the bag, and she's like, "What
Mhm.
bag? What you had to leave your backpack behind?" And so of course, yeah, they went through it. They must have gone through and pieced together who you were, and
Mhm.
the two of you were talking about it, and Miri, you and Faith were talking about it, and so I just don't matter. It doesn't. You don't care if I, the person who knows all of these people, who has contacts in the police, who could potentially make all of this go away, you didn't think at any point to tell me about the. I can't fucking believe. And she just like starts pacing.
I thought you knew. I'm sorry.
I don't know everything, Faith. I look for clues. I don't read minds. Shit. I'm sorry, this is all coming out wrong. We've got bigger things to worry about right now. Alright. Well, if this bag is missing, and that's how they know what you're doing, then it stands to reason that's what they're gonna do, and use that against you. So let's try and move forward and build on that, and see if we can't make this thing go away.
Mhm.
I think Meaty would like. She'd probably have stayed quiet throughout a lot of that because she would know how to deal with the confrontation. But I think near the end of it, she probably would like be like, Perdita, I mean, at this point, I think someone is aware of all of us, and there's something like there's something bigger than all of us here right now that's just getting involved because and like I think that's around like she'd have mentioned before the folks the stuff that went down at the morgue,
Mhm.
but like she would like I think trying to come off comforting at least somewhat to Faith because I think that's where she feels like she has to be
Yeah.
at that moment.
Right.
It's a sense of like
Oh yeah, because Faith's insecurity is coming out big right now.
yeah
Yeah.
I think media would default to just being like wanting to help, but also like I think honestly I think we should assume someone's going to be following us, all of us at this point. If not for Faith's bag, then now I'm at least known by somebody because and like go into like that doesn't like they that's not procedure, that's not what they should be doing. And just based off of like she points probably to the board where Perdita's probably because I'm imagining Perdita with all this stuff there's like different sections to different topics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just like to the hospital like set of it and just like it's been happening for a while and I'm worried it's something big is coming, like very big.
Let's try and get ahead of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do we know? And so she, I think, relays some of the
Yeah.
stuff that she knows about. Like, we do the little comic montage of like fading to the next,
Next
couple
play.
minutes
Yeah,
after
we like
that.
share the detective
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, you share all the details and everything. So we skip through that multi-panel comic montage, and we get into that part now where you all kind of think about where you want to do, where you need to go next to kind of get more information. So you do know that there might still be some information in the penitentiary, and you know that the hospital might still have more information, but also most importantly, you know that the codex is still missing, and that might be the key to everything.
What do we think about this codex business?
So for a recap on the codex, Faith, you were told that the heist happened about 5 years ago. That the codex is also called the codex. It's called the Codex of the Traveler. It is also referred to as the Book of Thoth. And legend speaks that it possesses the name of every living person on Earth. And if one was to remove their name from it, it could grant them immortality. On top of that, the book is mentioned to have ancient knowledge, and the names only appear on the glow of a full moon, which is soon.
Oh, okay. So Nazumi told me that her partner Scarbird told us her partner Scarbird with the book, right? And she doesn't know what it is. Okay, I just wanted
Yep.
to make sure that we knew that.
And I think at this point, I think it's pretty good even for Nezumi to even make an appearance here. So Nezumi comes in, waiting out by the in the alleyway, and Eddie, the Cheshire Cat bartender, comes down and says, Nezumi's here for you. Wants an update." So, I'm guessing you're not letting Nezumi into your private room, so you probably have to meet her back up. So Nezumi's sitting on one of the booth counters. Whoever wants to sit down and talk with her.
Perdita, you want to take the lead on this?
I think I've been taking the lead a lot. I'm going to give
Fine.
someone else the chance to shine, especially someone who's got a connection, who doesn't always put her foot in her mouth.
If you didn't do that, we wouldn't get half of the info we do. A little recklessness and a little obsession doesn't hurt folks, especially in our line of work.
Like you're good at this. You know that, right?
I think it does hurt people. And she like goes over to Faith real quick, like, look, this is a bad time. I didn't mean that.
I know I'm a bonehead sometimes. It's okay.
No, that's not what I said. Faith. You know, it's easy to try and joke about this. God knows that's what I would do too. I just want to apologize without you making a joke about it. I can't do any of this without you. None of us could. I know that you didn't mean to leave your bag there. You didn't mean to get caught. You didn't mean to have people chase you. So how could I blame you for that?
Thanks. I'm just doing my best, and I feel like I always get us in trouble. I'll just try harder. But thanks. And I think she'll give Perdita a hug.
Oh, Perdita does not know how to respond to that. She's just like doing the. My hands are up here. Your hands are here.
How tall is Perdita? Like.
I think she's like 5'6", 5'7".
Oh yeah, perfect. So it's kind of like one of those like hugs where you kind of get lifted up a little bit.
Yeah, another inch in heels, and like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I just imagine Faith kind of like Scorpia from She-Ra, that kind of energy, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need you to get us into trouble, so.
Oh, okay.
To still be in one piece.
Yeah, and then she'll put her down.
Well, now that rousing display of teamwork is in full view of you, Nezumi, welcome to our humble abode.
Thanks. I didn't know how I should respond, so I just stood in this corner and was silent the entire time.
It's what you normally do.
Not always. So, did you find any information about Abby?
Well, we know that somebody had it out for her. There's a guy. I worked a case a while ago. He's one way or another, she got on his bad side. I don't know what that's about. I'm going to look into it. But at least that's one angle. And Miri's been looking into the more intimate side of things. And we've learned a little bit about your job, I guess. The Codex.
Yeah.
The Book of Thoth.
I didn't believe in any of it, but the person who hired us apparently seems adamantly very believing of it.
I mean, I can't imagine why, especially now that people are just, dropping dead.
Don't know, but when Abby left, she took the Codex with her. And that was the last time I saw her or the Codex. And the next thing I found out was that she was put in the penitentiary not long after. And I cut my ties and try to just move on. But then I heard word she died. And now I'm wondering, what does it even mean?
I think Faith is kind of like Or just do you want the codex? Because that's kind of what I think you want.
What I want, I don't know if I can have what I really want, but I do want to know what happened. And I want to, at the very least, if Abby was put down by who I think it was, I'm going to make them pay.
Who you think it was?
That's not
So,
something you can just put on the table and walk away from, right?
Like, okay, I think that you need to level with us. Because this is how it goes. You want our help to help you figure out what's going on. And this is Faith. She's like,
Mhm.
You want our help to help you figure out what's going on. Well, we need your help because we are doing this because we believe wholeheartedly in helping this city do what it needs to do to fight back against corruption. But we need you to help us do that. So you either have to help us, help you, or I'm out. Got it? I'm assuming this is a convince. That's what I was
yes,
going for.
that is definitely a convince. That was
Okay.
most certainly a convince.
I feel like relentless
Okay.
fits under this. Oh shit, what else do I? I think my heart is my power does.
Okay.
Wait, let me just check real quick.
And I think protector of the weak, but I also think insecurity is gonna be tagged.
Yeah, I think insecurity is a good one here.
Yeah.
Before that happens, Jackie.
Yeah.
Could I try and help Faith out with this?
Sure. You
Like-
can. So you can spend the help points as juice, and you can for juice you can either create a story tag. You can either burn a tag. You can either create a status, or you can reduce or remove a status. So, do you want to create a tag maybe?
Yeah, if I'm able to, is it juice equivalent to tier of status, or is it just juice for a status?
So juice for it's going to be one juice to create the tag, and then if you want to, I will say I will usually say for that is let me see here. Juice spent is equal to the number of story tags. So if anything, you can spend it to increase. You can increase it. So if you wanted to do that, if you have more than one juice.
Well, I have 3 help points. That's why I'm asking. I didn't know whether or not that changed things. This seems like a very big thing, so I'm willing to go whole hog into it to get us.
Yeah,
I know
The story
exactly
tag
what-
is something that you can then tick.
Yeah,
Like
you
a
can take that.
Power tag,
You
right?
can.
And then,
So if you you can create it, and then if you want, and that is usually that is the normal method of what you do. Let me see. It doesn't mention specifically spending juice to create a tag because like to increase it because that's usually changed the game. But so you can create more than one story tag if you wanted to. You can create the story tag if you want.
Okay. We can work out what the exact detail on the story tag is, but I think for trying to help Faith be convincing where she rolls it, I think Mary because I'm imagining there's a bit of a pause while Nizumi is thinking it over. I think Miri will just very quietly say, Nizumi, I've read a lot of people's letters for their last days. I have a lot of experience around doing this. It's been a while since I've seen someone be that afraid, and I work with people who have maybe 2-3 months left to go. If you know anything and you're holding out on us, or worse yet, you're going to put us in danger just so you can avoid it, I don't think it's going to stop just with us. I don't think it's going to stop just with Abby. What do you know?
Okay. So I think the story tag is going to be Abby's last words.
Oh,
And so there's a moment where Nezumi kind of just like swallows. And go ahead and roll your convince. And I'm gonna give because of how amazing that tag was. Go ahead and give yourself another +1 power for that.
okay. Okay. That's a 12.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
know
rolled a
if this
14 total.
this doesn't count as
Dynamite. No.
yeah, I didn't think so.
Well, you use that new thing from your new
Yeah, but I don't know if it's am I trying to get her to join my cause? I don't
Well, okay, so change
It's
the
change
game.
the game, not convince.
Oh, yeah, that's what I
the
thought.
thing.
Yeah, you're
Oh, no,
looking
no,
at
no.
you're
no, this is under for the children.
for the children.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's in purple as well.
When you try to convince somebody, it's dynamite. Yeah, you did. If you use something from that that theme, then you get dynamite.
Oh,
So you
sweet.
did. So you do get dynamite.
Yeah.
So so you were doing convince, right?
Yes.
Okay. So for convince, for dynamite convince, on a 12 plus, the target also gains on a hit. Choose a relevant status with with a power equal to the tier. Your target can choose to either take the status or the target can also gain a temporary status equal to power +2 of your choice, representing your influence. So go ahead. So decide on a status for me. Think something like guilt, remorse would probably fit into that kind of category. I'm thinking.
Mhm.
And so the target can choose either to take that status or they can gain a temporary status equal to the power you used +2 of your choice, representing your influence. So you can choose. Why don't you tell me what kind of status you want to impose on Nezumi?
I mean, what I want, the status that I want to impose on Izumi is something like cards on the table. Like,
Okay.
she's gonna lay it all out for us. She's honestly gonna trust us and tell us everything.
Okay, so that's gonna be probably for her. It's gonna be something along the lines of like, an ultimatum kind of feeling.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Sure.
Okay. And you spent 2 power for that. Okay. Okay, so that's either that status or what's the alternative status you would want to give? That would be your representing your influence over her.
So it's not change their agenda to include mine. It's at least for the time being. It's because I'm dynamite. It's
You're doing
above that.
it's
Okay.
dynamite. It's the other one. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be because 10 plus is usually how it is, but since you have dynamite, you get extra stuff on top of it.
I think an alternative status would be. So you've got ultimatum as one of them, and then if anyone
Right.
wants
This
to
one, the
jump in-
second one represents your influence over her.
Oh, my influence over her. So my specific
Mhm.
influence over her.
Yeah, like how
Uh,
do you influence her?
I think that she. I think the thing that would come across is that Faith means what she says, and she's impressed by that. Like that, it's
Okay.
not. It's not. Yeah, like because Faith has been kind of taken for granted as like I think the weak member of the team. It's why Faith was approached. That's why all the like I get it. So I think that in this moment, it's like whether it's impressed or understand that there's more to Faith than she thought or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So for that one, she's going to go with the impressed one.
Mhm.
So she's going to have a status, a temporary status 4 of being impressed with
Shit.
you.
Of course.
So we'll go with that one. So for impressed 4, that's what she's going to choose. And so she looks up at you. Well, somebody actually knows how to bare their fangs when they need to. I like that. All right. Here's what I know. The person who hired me, I never met him, but I do remember their voice. It was always on the phone. It was a man, and he identified himself as the Ace. And apparently there's more than one of them. And Ace wanted the book and was willing to pay good money for it. And when things went south, I remember right before I left, I got a phone. There was a phone call from him asking where the book was. I told him that Abby went off with it. I don't know where she is, and we just, and our partnership had ended. There was a pause, and Ace said he'll keep an eye on me for a little while, understandable, and said he's going to find Abby and make sure she pays up. But then nothing since. I heard that Abby was pretty well herself, confident and overconfident in every sense of it. She always was like that, but even more so in the penitentiary. But I don't know too much about that, anything else beyond that. And whoever this Ace is knew about us and contacted us. And I don't know if that makes it worse or more terrifying. And Abby didn't really have anyone else to talk to except me, but I never called her. I never contacted her after we kind of separated.
I heard that. And put it in my brain, in the back of my brain.
That's all I really know. But if anybody would have gotten to Abby, it would have been Ace. That's just the truth. And if it really was Ace, they got hell to pay. That's all I know about Ace. And that's the truth.
I think in that moment, Faith will be like, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. So, anything else you know about what happened to Abby?
know anything else, Perdita?
I mean, aside from what we've already said, we know she had an enemy. We know that she may or may not have been poisoned. We know that she didn't have a lot of connections. I have some clues that I still have, which I could potentially spend.
Yep,
I have one clue as well.
you do.
But I don't.
You do.
So my clues are mostly about the conspiracy board specifically, and just like what forces are moving together.
Yeah.
Okay, if what was his name? Perdo, the rift that I worked with that might have pissed her off. Can I spend a clue and ask if he had any other known associates or circles that he worked with, or if he was just like a single operator?
Okay. So Joseph and Harley, who are the Mad Hatter and Mad Hare, they are they have always worked together. But you knew that the last time you worked with them, rather you dealt with them specifically because they're in jail because of you. You know that the last time they were working on something together, they were apparently working they were planning to perform a kidnapping, and the kidnapping was supposed to take place around, maybe for you it was around probably like in the springtime, and it was going to be at a big gallery or a big gala that was taking place at the Armenthus Luxury Hotel. For those who don't remember, the hotel is owned by
Darien, right?
Darien, right? Henry Darien. And so, and in one of those things that the reason it's starting to stick to your mind more, Perdita, is because you remember that in that case, that was a case where all the invitees were asked to wear rabbit masks.
Weird. All right.
I'm going
I
down
don't
the
know.
rabbit hole really far. If you want,
Yeah,
to
I'm guessing.
Weird. Okay.
I don't know if I can spend clues for. I think I have to make an investigate to almost like connect dots from things that I know or that
Right.
Dina knows, and then with her, with
Okay.
Mizumi, of like, hey, listen, like I know some things. Let me fill you in. Let me ask you some questions and see if that connects dots together.
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll and investigate then.
Yeah. So she's like,
Because you have Nizumi as a source now, so
yeah, I've
it's
got
a
her
little bit
trust.
different. And you got her trust.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm going to say for the status for the impressed, since it's a 4, you get 4 on that impressed status for your power.
Okay.
So you're already in a good spot.
Yeah, I'm a PI and I'm asking questions.
Yep.
And I think I'll invoke my more questions than answers as well.
Okay.
And
I think this
that's
one
it.
I want to invoke your eat and drink to shift, because normally it's one of those minutes. It's just, I feel like at this point, you're kind of pacing, you're kind of thinking, and you're getting to a point where you need to eat, and you're unintentionally changing in shape because you're in different highs and lows about your thought processes and trying to make the connection. So like you're going to the board and also connecting the dots there as well. And I feel like that's where you're just unintentionally shifting in size to grab and move the different dots.
Yeah,
around.
I think as she's getting more confused and more uncertain about things, she starts shrinking. And
Yeah.
then if she gets like a moment of revelation, she grows another inch. And she's like, well, hang on, my
And-
blood sugar's all over the place, and like
It's
grabs
just like-
a bunch of bar peanuts and she starts shoving them in her mouth as she's talking.
Always a basket of mozzarella sticks somewhere in this basement.
Exactly.
Always.
Always.
Always got the snacks.
I've
think
eaten
that's a
so
good
much
way-
fried cheese today.
All right, so I've got an 11, and my power is 4.
Wow. Okay.
So did
That
the
was pretty
two
good.
of them have other did Abby have contacts and connections aside from Nizumi?
So
Like,
the,
you
so
must
the
have worked with
answer
somebody else.
we have, but never anybody that big before. We did some small time crimes here and there, and we worked for a couple other little criminals here and there. But when we got that job, I remember we were definitely very happy about it. We were gonna get we thought that we were gonna get big. We could get a big score, finally get out of that awful apartment that we were staying at, and finally have a life together.
All right, so just trying to rule out the possibility that somebody else is coming at you sideways and that this wasn't something else. She mentioned feeling safe, like she was protected, and then before she passed, sort of seemed to believe that something was happening. It's like she knew that someone was going to get her, or that some kind of protection that she had was wearing out. Do you know anything about that?
So when she got in the house, I heard some things too, and I heard that she was her usual arrogant self, but even more so. And I also did hear about the part where she said things like being safe or protected. But I never knew much about that. I only knew that those were rumors being coming out of the house, but I never heard anything. I never asked her. I didn't talk to her after she got booked.
Why
But
not?
if she did, but knowing Abby the way I do, she must have gotten somebody around her fingertips, and she probably pushed too hard, and something must have went wrong.
You said that, I mean, you don't believe in this stuff, or at least everything that people say about the Book of Thoth. Was Abby a believer?
Well, I'll say Abby really did believe in a lot of things, but I don't think she ever believed. Even if she did seem to believe it, I don't think she ever hold it to any stock. I don't know. Life is weird as it is, and even for the both of us as we were, and as you all are, I don't know for sure. She could have
course.
easily. Life is weird like that, right?
It is. A lot of things coming at you sideways you don't expect. Just
Yeah.
one last thing for now. The night that you stole it, do you remember what phase of the moon it was?
Yeah, it was waning, and it was about maybe a quarter way through. I know we were on a timetable to get it back to Ace, and that's why we had to pick it up around then.
Interesting.
Why was the timetable important?
I don't know. Ace just said we had to get it before the next full moon.
But it wasn't fully charged up at the time, or at least it wasn't at the height of its power. Interesting. All right. This is mostly what we know right now, and that's been very helpful to have a few more things to go on so we can kind of rule some of these things out. just feel like at the end of the day, we're just keep opening all these doors and closing a few of them, and then 3 more pop open. So it's the nature of these things, isn't it? We're gonna find it. We're gonna figure out what's going on here. I promise you that. We're gonna do right by her.
I thank you. Well, if you need any help from me, you know, you can ask. I need to know. I need my answers too.
Izumi,
Mm-hmm.
did did Abby have to have any health conditions of any kind? Anything
No.
she had to get regular checkup for?
No. We couldn't afford the healthcare.
No.
Don't get me started. And just like that's just Faith under her breath.
So there's nothing.
Nothing I knew.
She wouldn't have had any reason to go get checked for anything that you knew of.
No, I don't think she would. We were both pretty fit, and we were at the. And she chuckles. We were at the height of our game 5 years ago. I don't think I've noticed anything off about her.
Okay.
Was she like us?
Why?
You said she was like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your rabbit?
Well, she definitely embodied a thief, a very good one. So did I. That's why we are the way we are.
How did it manifest?
Well, we were in different places, but oddly enough, we were childhood friends. For me, I remember being stuck in the sewers one night and cold, and next thing I knew, and all I wanted to do was just to get out of the hole. And I saw a rat, and I followed it out, and I managed to find a manhole cover to take me up. And I remember that a rat can go anywhere if it really wants to. And I thought about wanting to be anywhere. And I think that's how it started.
Faith is gonna be like, wow, that's deep, while thinking in her head, dude, that is not what I wanted to know, but wow, that was deep.
Abby used to tell me that for her, Abby was always the swooner. She always liked to have people around her fingers. So she told me when she awoke that it was at a bar, and she remembered she had this guy around her arms, and next thing she knew, she had the whole bar enraptured. And she says something silly to one of the guys, saying maybe go and steal a car. The guy did, crazy enough. And she had a way with people. She was very good at it. But if you want, we could always take a look at wherever you need to go. Do you have any leads where you need to go?
I think we do, don't we?
A couple directions.
All right. Is there anything anybody wants to ask Nizumi while they're here? Or and what are you all thinking right now?
I wasn't able to get her personal effects, was I?
No, you. I remember you saying that you didn't want to take anything out of it
Yeah.
just because raising more suspicion.
Right.
But
Yeah,
you
I
do
think-
remember, yeah.
I think that would be the last thing that, like, before Nozumi's gone, just Medium would just tell her more away from the others. Just like,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I wasn't able to get anything else. I think.
Thank you for trying. But I can find my way into a city morgue. It's not hard to steal from that place. Did you find anything in there?
Not as much as I would have liked.
Okay.
Be careful. I think there's a storm coming.
Yeah, I think so too. So Nozumi exits out of the alleyway door. Miriam, you're still in the alleyway center, and I think it's about that time. So we're gonna have the camera pan out a little bit as the mist starts rolling in and rain starts trickling down on the city. And we will continue this next week on Royal Flush and a Wild Cards adventure. So thank you everybody for hanging out with us today and for having, and hopefully you all had enjoyed the mystery that's brewing. And I wanted to give special shout outs to all of our friends out in the internets who's watching us live. As always, thank you to our sponsors. So Nerdwear, it's what the nerds wear. Use the promo code RASSLE to get 10% off on all of our All Nerds Here merch, which includes all of our PWN and all Disasters Here fun times.
Sorry, I can't help but do that movement anytime I think of PW1 now.
Which one?
Yeah,
Or we could do
that will
or we could do
always
the
There it
puppet
is.
clap, the puppet clap.
the puppet clap. Alrighty. So thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Why don't we go ahead and start doing let's do our actual designated credit rolls move, which is our geek out during credits. So why don't we have everybody? So for this one, at the end of every session, everybody reflects on some of these questions. And so it's going to be, how has the crew grown this session? Which character had the most meaningful interaction with yours this session? Which of your themes seems the most strained? And if it were to collapse, what new aspects would you consider to take up in their spots? So why don't we have everybody kind of just answer those pretty quickly so we can go through that. Simon, how do you feeling?
I don't think the crew necessarily grew specifically. I think we had kind of some ups and downs. And speaking of ups and downs, I think the interaction that Perdita had with Faith was very meaningful to her as a character. I think Perdita feels like she made a mistake.
Okay.
And I don't know if that necessarily translates to a hurt point. I don't want a hurt point because I don't want to interfere with your actions.
Right.
But I think like because they reconciled a little bit, Perdita's like, all right, I feel like I tried to make things right. I have to keep this up if I want to show her that like I know that I goofed this pretty badly.
Okay. I think this was more definitely of like tough love kind of thing. So like I feel like a help would make sense here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the help point on Faith.
And how are your themes this time around?
Oh boy. I'm being my curiosity and my routine. I think they continue to work. I don't know if they're necessarily under strain. like probably there's some strain going on the routine in
Right.
terms of the sense of like that now she's got too many cases to try and juggle, and can't really focus on the initial one.
Yeah.
So I think that might be under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But I already have my flip side written down. Does that mean that I mark a crack on it?
I don't think so, but I will say that because we haven't had a situation when you had to kind of just make a choice between the routine and something else. So I don't
Yeah.
feel like we've gotten to a point where it's a crack yet, but it's definitely something that I feel like narratively speaking, it is in a place where it's becoming overwhelming.
Yeah.
And because you're going to get to a point where it's like, I think if you had whether or not you wanted to solve the greater mystery, or if you rather work on the one that you're trying to get done now, right? And if the
Yeah.
opportunity is presented for you to do either one, which one would you take? And I think that's where it's going to get that will be like one of those very pivotal moments for this card, for this
Yeah.
theme. So
I'm
I
gonna
think that would be a
instead
very good
mark my adaptation power because I haven't explored that mystery at all until that
Yeah.
one moment in this scene.
Yeah.
So I'll figure out off camera what the flip side of that is, but I think that's in
Okay.
danger of falling apart.
Okay. All right. I like that. Thank you, Simon. And Angela?
Hello. So let me pull that up. Agree with Simon. I think the crew. I think we're trying to take care of each other more right now than necessarily growing. I think it's just sharing between which person needs the most immediate attention.
Mhm.
I personally liked seeing Tommy and Faith just get to have some time, and
Yeah.
I liked seeing how folks were interacting in the session, but I don't know if that's necessarily a crew growth. I just think we're just trying to take care of each other. It's stressful.
It's pretty stressful. Yeah, I can see that.
Most meaningful interaction with your character this session. Can I say Nizumi?
I mean, you
Bringing up the
can.
next
I mean,
partner's
it's true though.
last words. Probably gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I don't know if that really gets you a help here,
No,
but I will
I-
say,
I don't think mechanically, at least again.
Yeah.
I don't think mechanically at least anything. I just think like that was that.
yeah.
Like the only other person who I could think of who might have had like big interaction with was just like somewhere between me and Tommy offering a spot for Faith to be safe, because either one of us were like
Yeah.
having that. But even
I
then,
think that's a good one because, like, especially it's either that or you and Faith, because you did have that moment where you were sheltering Faith and taking care of Faith and providing a safe space, a safe place for her. So I think that's a good, meaningful interaction there.
okay. And I think theme under the most strain. I'm kind of torn between Mourner of Misfortune, which is my defining event, and both of the mythos kind of go back and forth as to which flavor of a similar set of abilities are getting attention. They're never really out of the picture because I
Right.
think media's too curious about this. It's like very much giving in more and more over time to what this is. So
Okay.
I don't think either of those. So I think it's actually Mourner of Misfortune again, because I think
Mhm.
as much as she's spending time involved with like things related to the hospice, so that like she can't avoid that, and her mythos is coming up a lot, most of her care focus as a person is oriented towards the group right now. It's not really about like others who are dealing with a ton of things, because we haven't decided to go to the hospital to follow up leads or anything just yet.
Mhm.
So I think that one is still the most under strain. So I feel like, I don't know, it might represent just either going more into the mythos or becoming something more selfish, but maybe in a good way. Because the
Well,
actual defining event
that'd be
was pretty
interesting.
dramatic for her. So moving on from that and not having that be everything might be a good thing for her.
I think that would be really kind of something to look forward to, seeing what it will become.
Yeah.
Um,
'Cause right now we're going from like anxious person to Dark Phoenix to Seer. We got a lot of spots we could go here.
yeah, that's very true. We do. We really do.
That's me.
Thank you, Angela. Smurf, how you feeling?
Feeling good. Most meaningful character interaction was definitely with Faith, playing Fetch. As everybody else has said, the crew didn't really grow.
Yeah.
I think you're seeing the fact that the crew is our friends first, really coming out, where they're there for one each other. It's not like we have jobs to do and we're putting all of our personal shit to the side. We're actively exploring that and being there for one another. As far as like what's under the most strain, it's still Tommy and work. Getting through that. That is the thing that's most under strain for him right now. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. And Kate.
I agree with everybody about the crew. We're still figuring our stuff out. We'll get there, hopefully. But can I have two? I have two meaningful interactions. I can't.
You only
pick
get one.
But I can't
You only get
pick
one.
between them,
There
Jackie.
can be only one.
But I
There
can't
can only
pick.
be one. Well, toss a coin.
I don't. They're both really good. How am I supposed to pick between Tommy and Perdita? How am I supposed to pick?
1 to 3
Whatever
Tommy,
means
4
the
to 6
most to
Perdita.
you.
That's
Whatever
not
means
fair.
the most to you.
No, because they both mean things.
I guess the question is, who do you want to get help points for?
I have 2 for Perdita, so I'm gonna go with Tommy because I already got 2 for Perdita.
Yeah, okay. Let's see how it is.
Math wins again.
But in my mind, they are equal. If that makes it better.
You can say in your mind all you want. Mechanically,
totally
chosen
equal.
Tommy.
Yeah, mechanically I had to choose one, so there we go. And the theme that is still for me under the most strain is One More Year, the grad student stuff, because she's just not dealing with that right now. She's just not dealing with that right now. She's taking a break.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, she's totally not dealing with it.
I don't know.
It
if
might
that's
start. It might start
cracking.
creeping up on her.
I
It
know.
might. It's not cracking yet, but it's gonna probably start creeping up on Faith soon.
Yeah, I don't know. If
That's one of the reasons I gotta know these things. Which one's under strain, or you think is under strain? Because maybe I'll use that against you, and maybe you will have to draw attention to it and create unnecessary drama or maybe necessary drama that will just make you go screaming.
Dealing with it right now.
Internal or external screaming?
Both.
I knew someone would say that.
Alrighty. Thank you, Kate. All right, why don't we go ahead and get our outros done as well? So Kate, why don't you go ahead and start us off so you can go looking for the next channel to raid for us.
Awesome, yes, I would love to do that. Hi, I am Kate. I go by me and Midair on the internets. That's where you can find me. Sometimes on Twitter when I decide to jump on and retweet people, because that's normally what I do. And I am on this channel on Sundays. I will also be on this channel tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific with Jackie as we do a collab with Nerds with Dice and play Phasmophobia and get scared.
It's mostly gonna just be me saying nope a lot.
It's Jackie saying nope and me acting like I'm all big and bad and then running away. It's great. And then and then this Friday night, we'll be doing a Call of Cthulhu one-shot, GM'd by a friend of the channel, Belling Moradin, with a couple people from this cast and maybe a couple guests, and in honor of Halloween. And then I also stream over at So Many Games, twitch.tv/So Many Games, every other Tuesday and every other Thursday. That's me.
Awesome, thank you, Kate.
Mhm.
Smurf.
Hi, everybody. I'm Smurf. I'm on the internet at DSC_Smurf. I'm on this channel, Dumpstat Charisma and Soulbear RPG, every week at various times throughout the week. The biggest thing coming up in my life is Extra Life, November 7th and 8th. That's what the pink screen is behind me. That is the schedule for our shows. We were playing 10 TTRPG one-shots, ranging in systems from Genesis Masks, Worldwide Wrestling, Star Wars, Star Trek. It's going to be a great event. We have a bunch of great raffle prizes, including character art commissions from some really notable artists in the community. Ari is donating a commission that's MSRP'd at $90. So like we have some pretty big prizes going in this. We have a whole bunch of like Steam game codes that we're giving away and raffling off. It's going to be a really, really good event. So come check it out. It starts on November 7th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And we are going all the way until 11:15 p.m. On the 8th. So we are playing TTRPGs for over 30 hours, and we're doing it for the kids, raising money for Children's Miracle Network. So please be there if you can, donate if you can. You can start entering the raffle right now. $10 donations get you one ticket into the raffle with some great stuff. Prize announcements in full coming out soon.
Thank you, Smurf. Angela?
Outros. Hello, everyone. I'm Angela, otherwise playing Medium Rockabother here, otherwise known as Phoenix24Fem on the Twitters, where I share just a lot of gay and trans things whenever I can, and because that's my stick. I'm also on Patreon as the Philosopheme, where I am a professional poet and writer, where I have now 145 pieces up there, half of which are available for public viewing, the other half are patron locked. I write mostly about love, growth, surviving oppression, and trans things, and a lot of really, really gay feelings. I have a lot of gay feelings on there. That is the other part of my brand. I am also a musician for hire, so if you need either for your website or your TTRPG campaign or your stream, I do commissions for that. I do good work, and also more than happy to work out minimal prices for folks. Currently working on my own game inspired by For the Queen, Ryutama, and the Search for Christopher Robin, Winnie the Pooh movie. I am involved on Mondays at Heroes Without Limits as a GM, 2 p.m. EST for the Plains of Providence Quest RPG campaign, and also on alternating Fridays, this past Friday, so in 2 weeks, we'll be back over on Utopia, 9 p.m. EST, I have to remember that correctly, for Chimera RPG, where I'm playing a trans-illusionist reality warper who just empowered a construct to take down an Earth avatar. That was cool. I think that's oh, and I'm on a relationship podcast with my partner of 9 years. That's the thing. Queerly yours. I have a lot of things. I don't remember it all.
That reminds me, I have a podcast coming out on Monday.
Yes, you do.
With Dana. Sorry.
With Dana.
Get really
Yep.
excited.
Flanking bonus.
Yep.
That's the name of it.
Yep. Thank you. And Simon.
Hello, everybody. My name is Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris. I write tabletop role-playing games you can purchase and download at colorspraygames.itch.io for a variety of player types and interests. I'm a voice actor for the Penumbra Podcast, which is a queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama. If you want to learn how to see yourself represented in stories, that's at the Penumbra Pod on Twitter, thepenumbrapodcast.com. You can download it wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. I'm a professional GM for Magpie Games. If you go to magpiegames.com/curated-play, you can find out how you can get linked up with me or one of several other fantastic GMs playing games like Masks, Bluebeard's Bride, and the upcoming Root role-playing game. Still got a few tickets left for one game of Crossroads Carnival on October 30th. Go check that out if you're interested in 1930s Carnival monsters fighting the darkness type role-playing game. And that's going to be a good time. That is currently a comeback on Wednesdays to this channel, 8 p.m. for Haven, A Land Reclaimed, where an all BIMPOC crew plays a post-colonial fantasy version of Free from the Yoke, which is really cool, very fun. And then in November, starting on the 8th or the 15th, haven't fully decided, go to twitch.tv/go_JG, where I will be part of a crew playing After the War by Jason Petra at Genesis of Legend, a sci-fi mimetic horror game. Very excited for that.
Yay! I'm excited for that one. Okay, and I have been your Master of Ceremonies. I am Jackie, better known as Death by Mage on the Twitters, and you can find me everywhere on Twitters. I'm a best award-winning writer, I guess. And you can find all my works at bit.ly/dbmport. It's all my portfolios there. So it has everything I've worked on. You can find all my works on the DM's Guild, Drive Through RPG, and also on itch.io. And I am the creative lead for the Unbreakable anthology, which is an Asians Own Voices anthology featuring 10 Asian-themed adventures written by Asian creators and Asian artists. And we are going to be driving through all of 2021 with some new content for that, and so be on the lookout for that. You can also check us out at unbreakablerpg.com to sign up for our newsletter. And with that, we are going to end with this tonight. Just reminder for everybody, Black Lives Matters. Trans right is our human rights, as always. And for the love of merciful gods, please vote. Please, I implore you to vote.
But wear your mask.
Preferably,
please.
And also, yes, please wear masks, because apparently we can't control ourselves and have 80,000 cases as of yesterday. So yeah, would you please wear your masks?
Yes. And vote. Vote early. Track your ballot.
Vote early if you can. Yes.
your ballot.
And also track. And if you're mailing your ballot, please track your ballot. Make
Yeah.
sure it actually arrives.
All right, we're gonna raid Cypher of Tyr, who's online and is never
Yeah.
online after us. I'm excited. Go get
Ooh,
your
that's
emotes ready.
nice.
Show some love to her. She's awesome and one of my favorite streamers. So get that love going, and we're gonna raid her. They'll give us in 9 seconds. So we love you all. Have a great week. Get that love ready, and we'll see y'all next time. There we go.
Yer. I'm impressed that I can still be on Twitch on